everybody. Good evening. It is June the 3rd, 2019. Good evening again. And if you need to reach me because you're interested in receiving my paperwork in exchange for a gift, you're going to email me at rick0327@me.com. It will be in the description. Please only email me for paperwork. Okay. Okay, I don't give out advice. I'm sorry, and I just received too many emails, and it's just for child support situations. I don't help out with traffic or any other legal problem. Okay. My videos are where you get your information from. Okay. I don't provide any service. Okay. I am just somebody on the computer that I've created paperwork, over 50 affidavits for all kinds of situations, for different, people have different scenarios, that they're dealing with. And that's why I have so much paperwork. I mean, I have a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork that I've taken out of circulation, but I'm always creating new paperwork. Okay. Really good stuff. All right. I'm proud of what I have. And people are happy with it. Okay. We got here. All right. This is proof right here. One guy that he used my man Gary over in Texas. Right here is his check showing that they're no longer taking the child support out of his check. Okay, it's dated for the period of 5/12 through 5/18. Okay, this letter is dated May 10th, showing that they're looking for the money because his boss is not complying with child support because his boss knows that it's BS. His boss is following the cease and desist he sent them. Okay, Gary's been fighting. He's doing very well for himself over there in Texas. All right, they're pulling out all the stops against him, but he's holding his own. He's doing very well. Okay, so I just want to show you that that there are some employers that they follow the cease and desist, and nothing's happened to him. Nothing happened to his employer, from what I understand. Okay. All right, this is an email from somebody. Rick, thanks for all the paperwork. Really appreciate it. Somebody that sent me a gift. Wow, Rick, I've been looking over your material thoroughly, and you have certainly done your homework. Your instructions and your evidences with facts, my footnotes, are the same facts that I have found concerning child support issue. Great job. Okay. Paperwork, I have really good footnotes. I have good case law, and I'm on top of things. Okay. If you trust me and send the gift, I promise you won't be disappointed. These are people who are not disappointed. I've never received somebody that was not happy with my paperwork. I've had a couple of people, pull scams, but that's just the type of people they are. It's not because of my paperwork. Okay, but that's like 1%, less than 1%. Okay. Again, people, they're very happy. Some people confused with the instructions because what I do is I describe every affidavit and what you can use it for. See, because everybody's scenario is different, I just can't give one set of instructions. A lot of it has to do with you. Some of this is you got to read it. And like if you have they're claiming you're in default. If you see an affidavit that says for default, read it, and if it makes sense to you, use it. A lot of you, I believe, you're just looking for help. You gotta take the bull by the horns, okay? Trust me when I tell you this. There are no silver bullets. Even though I provide you the paperwork, you still have to learn this stuff. I tell a lot of people in my paperwork, read my paperwork. The paperwork will educate you, because I over-explain things in my paperwork purposely because they will use any excuse they can to dismiss the paperwork. So I try to account for every thing that they may use. Okay, stand by, and try to get rid of it. You got it. You rock, Rick. Have a good weekend. Another guy happy with my paperwork. Okay, my paperwork will give you the best scenario to challenge child support and triumph. I don't guarantee it. I'm just giving you the best chance. I'm telling you. That's how good my paperwork is. All right. A lot of people lately, on my last video, I mentioned that people are having a hard time filing the paperwork. And again, it's not because of my paperwork is typed on pleading paper. It's the same type of pleading paper that is submitted to the Supreme Court. So it's definitely in the right format. Okay? It's just because what they're doing is they're taking the paperwork, like a lot of people, most people don't notice. It happened to me. So a lot of this stuff happened to me. And what I'm doing with you guys, I'm trying to eliminate problems that happened to me. Listen, I was a victim of them taking my paperwork and walking it up to a judge. And what they do is they take the paperwork, they walk it up to the judge, and then the judge looks at it off the record. And then the judge dismisses the paperwork off the record, because you're not supposed to know that they took the paperwork up to the judge, or the judge surrogate fake judge, and they dismiss it off the record where they don't got to put anything in writing. You understand what they're doing? Now, there's a way around it. You can go there with a witness, right? I don't always, because let me just start now. When you go to court, bring a witness with you. Okay? I used to always bring somebody with me, but also there's, they were out to get me a couple of times. I don't know how I walked out of the court a few times without being arrested, because I also have a bad temper. I would go bananas on some of these guys. I'd start throwing threats around because I was fed up because my life was destroyed by these people. Anyway, bring a witness. You could drop off the paperwork, and then maybe have your friend witness write down that, try and get the name of the person took the paperwork. I observed so and so accepting the paperwork, and you can walk away. That's legal. Okay, this is not anything new with clerks not accepting paperwork. It's been going on for a long time. All right, they've been gatekeepers for a long time. Okay, so this is nothing new. All right, it might be new to us because people like us, we don't go to court all the time. I mean, obviously I did, but I'm talking about to people out in YouTube land watching the videos. Okay, this is a brand new experience. So you watching my video, I'm telling you what's going to happen. Okay, so you could do that because the court said they had, once you drop it off, it's considered filed. They have to docket it. Okay, you can use a process server. Okay, that costs money. Or now I was on a website. This guy Bill Windsor, he's been in the court business. I don't even know if he's still alive. But he's been fighting. He's got videos out there and stuff, and he recommends that you send it certified receipt or use FedEx to send the paperwork. Now, some places may say we don't. They're not allowed to do that, because I'll tell you why. I had a federal lawsuit going. I would file papers all the time by certified mail, and they would accept it. So if a federal court will do it, they have to do it. Okay, so you could send it by certified receipt or FedEx signed receipt, and then you have proof that they received it. Okay, and then there's other things you can do. you could file obstruction. You could file, you can make a phone call to the, what you could do is just, make noise. You can make a phone call. Let's say they claim that they didn't get the paperwork, but you have, the tracking that says they got it. Then you can call over to the district attorney. Make noise. A lot of times they don't want to be bothered with this. There's an old saying: the squeaky wheel gets the lube, gets the grease. Okay, so I could just tell you in my own, my experience, I did that, and I became Mr. Womman when I went to court. They were all afraid of me, and me also having a channel didn't help either. And so anyway, you have to make noise. You just can't go meekly. All right. So now we're gonna discuss this video. We're gonna talk about things you can do to avoid giving child support jurisdiction, or how to subject you to legal process. Okay, under 42 U.S.C. 659 I-5, the term legal process means any writ, summons, or other similar process in the nature of garnishment, which is issued by a court or an administrative agency, really a tribunal, of competent jurisdiction in any state, territory, or possession of the United States. But I'm going to let you know a little secret. You know what any state, territory, possession of the United States is? District of Columbia, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And new people to my channel, under 42 U.S.C. section 1301, the definition of state is District of Columbia, the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Guam, and American Samoa. That is the definition of state. Also, the corporation, the United States, is located in the same area. And I'm going to show you in the slides here that the United States and the state and state mean the same thing. So it means it's the same geographical location. Okay, and then I'm going to show you that child support, they don't have any jurisdiction outside of DC, and that's why they need your consent. Okay. All right. So now under 42 U.S.C. 659, consent by United States to income withholding, garnishment, and similar proceedings for enforcement of child support and alimony obligations. Okay. So this is one section, 42 U.S.C. 651 through 669 subsection B is the Social Security Act for child support, and all the states have to act in accordance with in order to receive federal money. Okay, so this is consent. This is for income withholding. Now, I did a video of this a few months ago. What this really means is this is only for federal employees. It doesn't apply to you. If you're not a federal employee, it doesn't apply to you. All right? So that what they do is they're using the presumption. You have to rebut the presumption and say, I am not a federal employee. All right? I did a video on it right here. Not the video, but on this executive order by President Clinton. All right, executive order, federal employee. So really what it is that they're using the presumption that everybody's a federal employee. Sadly, all right? And this is just, executive order 12953. We went over this. So one of my guys sent this to me. Good stuff. Great guy. Thank you. This is the right here. Okay, this is the statute or the code, right? It's on the Law Cornell EDU. These are all, now you click on here, you get definitions. Private person. You know what a private person is? It's their way of saying a sovereign person, a sovereign people. You're not a person, okay? The term private person means a person who does not have sovereign or other special immunity. So you're not a private person. So this also says now a person who does not have sovereign or other special immunity or privilege which cause the person not to be subject to legal process. That means sovereign people are not subject to legal process. You got me? So that's why I started using the state citizen verbiage, state citizen national. Okay. State citizen national is defined under 8 U.S.C. 1101. Okay? Don't take my word for it. Look it up. All right? This will load up eventually. I'll get back. Okay? So we just discussed this. So no, it's not a coincidence that legal process and private person definitions are under 42 U.S.C. 659 consent. This means they need your consent. I'm telling you, they need your consent. Okay? And I'm going to prove it to you again. Let me just... You notice I got a lot of things going on this computer right now. Everything is so damn slow. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Okay, asserting sovereignty to avoid being subjected to legal process. Okay. What is sovereignty? According to the Supreme Court. Now, if this is according to the Supreme Court, this means this is Supreme Court law. All opinions by the Supreme Court becomes the law of the land because the Supreme Court, they are the holders of the Constitution for the United States of America. They are there to interpret and apply it to the Constitution. So if the Supreme Court says it, it becomes Supreme Court law and it means it's constitutional. You understand? So the Supreme Court says sovereignty itself is, of course, not subject to law. That means if you're a sovereign state citizen, national, you're not subject to law. They need your consent. For it is the author and source of law. In other words, it is the sovereign who create the law. We are the law. But in our system, while sovereign powers are delegated to the agencies of government, you know what that means? If you try and sue a state employee or a federal employee, they automatically, they're sovereign. The judge will dismiss the case immediately saying they're sovereign on the 11th Amendment. Well, that's bullshit. Okay? People are sovereign, not state employees. What they do is they're using the presumption. So the presumption is they're sovereign. You have to rebut the presumption and cite examples of how they violated one of your federal rights. So that's why they, when they dismiss your paperwork under 12B, okay, failure to state a claim is because they're claiming you didn't provide proof that that they violated a federal right. Now really your people are sovereign, as I just told you. So it says here, sovereignty itself remains with the people, by whom and for whom all government exists and acts. In other words, the government works for you. All right? That's why they use so much trickery. So the best thing to do is to put all of this on paper and rebut it before you go there. This is the reason why these days they are they're pulling all kinds of trickery with my paperwork. Ever since this used to go on in the past, but they've been accepting my paperwork for a while now. As soon as I started inserting the sovereignty stuff, they're not accepting the paperwork. Or, I have people getting it in, but they got to fight. So, again, you got to be prepared to fight. Okay? So now, contesting the state has personal jurisdiction and long-arm jurisdiction to avoid being subject to legal process. What does that mean? Okay. What they do is, by you showing up, if you do not contest, and then you also inform them that you're not making a general appearance, they assume, or your responsive documents, if you don't say that you're contesting personal jurisdiction and you're not waiving your rights, they're going to presume that you consented. That's the reason why they threaten you to show up. You may be arrested. Your driver's license will be suspended. You may hold you in default. Okay? That's the reason why you have to respond. Now, if you respond with the right paperwork, it's different. It's not guaranteed, but it makes their life hard. Okay, so now under the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, which is in every state. Okay, it's a state law in every state. So every state has a mirror image of this. Okay, or the acronym UIFSA, Article 2, Section 201. Now watch, look at this. Section 201, basis for jurisdiction over non-resident. Isn't that kind of strange? Basis? Not basis, BASIS. Not a basis for jurisdiction. Basis. Okay? Basis. That's strange. So whenever you see strange words like that, you got to look it up. Okay? And non-resident. Okay? So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to prove to you they need your jurisdiction. Okay? In a proceeding to establish or enforce or modify a support order or to determine parentage, a tribunal of this state, right? State with a big S, right? States with small s's are land masses. It's the state, the land, the state. States with big S is the corporation, part of the United States, of the United States, okay? May exercise personal jurisdiction, right? May exercise personal jurisdiction over a non-resident individual or the individual's guardian or conservator if of course, you can't be kidding me, if the individual is personally served with citations. No, personally served. How many of you are served by the mail? That means you're not personally served. That way you could take it and send it back and say, I am rejecting this. This is not personal service. Therefore, you do not have personal jurisdiction over me. Okay? Within the state. Subsection 2. The individual submits to the jurisdiction of this state by consent in a record. You know what the record is? The tribunal, the court, or a document, by entering a general appearance or by filing a responsive document having the effect of waiving any contest to personal jurisdiction. You see how important this is? This is very important. They need your consent. It's that simple. Okay? They need your consent. They try and act like they don't, but this is their words. This is not my words. Okay? This is their words. Okay. All right, I put this in red for you to see. If you want to look it over, like what the key upon. Okay, look, why are they using the term bases instead of bases? Well, this is obviously a play of words, and this is a very important clue. Base, servile, holding land at will of the Lord. You're the Lord of your land. Base estate. It's so in Black's Law Dictionary, 9th edition, page 171, base is estate. What's an estate? It's land. It's somebody's home. Estate, the amount, degree, nature, and quality of a person's interest in land or other property. So this basis is all about land. It's all about where you are. You got me? This is all about where you are, non-resident. Okay? Base estate, historically, an estate held at will of the Lord, as distinguished from a stronghold. Okay? So again, because it's all about tricking the non-resident, you, into not knowing that you are a non-resident because you are not domiciled in a jurisdiction. So they're calling, right there, they're giving you a clue by your non-resident. This is why they need your consent, because you're not domiciled where they're located. Where they're located, District of Columbia. That's the only place where this is enforceable. Okay? So a non-resident, it's a noun. One who does not live within the jurisdiction in question. Wow, doesn't that make sense? Yeah. Non-residents, the status of living outside the limits of a particular place. So when you're a non-resident, that means you're living outside of their jurisdiction. That's why they need your consent. You got me? Okay, the term bases and non-residents are proof that the state Title 4D agency needs your consent because you are not in their jurisdiction. It's very important you challenge personal jurisdiction. And they can't have long-arm jurisdiction without personal jurisdiction. Okay, I think I told this story. Let me tell it again. One of my people, he went to court, he went there, and he started challenging personal jurisdiction. He never did it before. Wouldn't you know that they had to reschedule the hearing because the recording equipment was allegedly not working? Isn't that strange? It's not strange. There's no coincidence here. Okay? He started doing the right thing. Okay? So remember, they are always using the term state. And the definition of state under 42 U.S.C. section 1301 or 42 U.S.C. section 410 subsection H. The term state, except where otherwise provided, includes the District of Columbia and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. All right, now we're under subchapter 7. Okay, so that means this applies to us. Okay, includes Virgin Islands, Guam, and Samoa. Excuse me. Just getting over a cold. Okay, state is also defined in the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, Article 1, Section 102, subsection 21. State means a state of the United States. Of the United States. That means the corporation. Not, see, when they mean the 50 states, they say, means 50, they'll say 50 states. This is not 50 states. This is a play on words. State of the United States, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, United States Virgin Island, or any territory or insular possession subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, the corporation, United States, right? Okay, here we go again. 42 U.S.C. Section 13.1 state United States mean the same thing. So under Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, it says means state of the. That's the clue right there. Okay? So it's not the 50 states. They want you to believe state of the United States means 50 state, but it really means District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, etc., etc. So if you are not within the base of the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, they need your consent. Okay? The importance of contesting personal jurisdiction is found in uniform. All right, I went over this before. Okay, so my paperwork to challenge the child support agency affidavits, all right, in court. Those of you that have it, Affidavit 35, Affidavit 31, Affidavit 4, Affidavit 1, Affidavit 4, Affidavit 6, Affidavit 9. Now, those of you that have my older paperwork, you have this, but in the last 4 months, I started numbering them to make it easier because people are having a hard time with the instructions. So I'm always trying to make things easier. Okay. Good luck. All right, now I'm going to show you what my paperwork looks like. Okay. This is objection, notice of motion. The court has legal obligation to provide proof of personal jurisdiction. Okay. See, that's what it looks like. This is what it looks like. See how nice it looks? I mean, you can't see the words because it's small. That's what it looks like. These are all the footnotes. Okay, this is another one. This is number 9, challenge and special special appearance. Okay, this is all the paperwork. This is all the pages. Doesn't that look nice? That's what you're getting. You're getting as close to professionally written paperwork as I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney, but I write just as good. I write better because an attorney will never put this much work into it. They don't. Okay, it's a national is defined under 8 U.S.C. 1101 A21. Let me see if I can get it. Okay. This way, if God forbid they ever start calling you a sovereign citizen, you're going to say, no, I am a sovereign state citizen national, as defined under 8 U.S.C. 1101. Hilarious, it's not coming up. It's not loading up. Hilarious. But anyway, you guys can look it up, all right? Don't trust me, look it up, okay? Dismissal of child support enforcement for the respondent is not a member of the uniformed service. This is number 6. This is for rebutting the presumption for the executive order I showed you before. Notice a change of venue, very important. You need to change your venue from their court to a court of record, okay? A court of record. It's a rebuttal. This is to the child support agency. So this is give you an idea of what you're sending there. Look at that. Look at these pages. They're just sending them. All the information. And what I do is I back up all of my facts with footnotes, with actual verified facts. It can be verified. So when you look at the footnote, it's verifying it. So these are not my opinions. My affidavits are not my opinions. What the real definition of an affidavit is, it's facts. It's you asserting facts, a verified fact. That's what an affidavit is. That's why I call my court paperwork affidavits, because I base it on facts, not opinions, not my opinions. My opinion means nothing. Okay? I back up everything with footnotes. Also, those of you have my paperwork. If you're not using Microsoft Word, you're not going to see this. I had one guy, he was just using Word, and he opened up my paperwork on Microsoft Word, and he saw all the footnotes. He couldn't believe it. He was like, Rick, holy shit. He goes, I had no idea. I was using Word, and you can't see the footnotes. He said, I saw all your footnotes. He goes, man, you got everything covered. I do. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I put a lot of work into this stuff. All right? I'm telling you, and it averages about $3 an affidavit. Okay? It's less than that, considering all of my affidavits that I provide you. Okay? The important ones, though. A lot of them you don't need, but it's also there's good information there. Okay? So, all right, I just want you guys, and this is the interrogatory, it's very important. So what I showed you here, these are the ones that you should be focusing on if you have my paperwork. So is number 10, that's the interrogatories. Number 27, 28, 6, 9, 42, 31, contesting personal jurisdiction. Number 1, okay, this one here, you can file this one. If you're going to court the first time, you can file this. This is a response court paperwork that theoretically, if you file that, you don't have to show up. You're rolling the dice because, again, you're dealing with crooked people. They don't honor the law, especially if you're one of the, they call us pro se. Don't let them call you pro se. Okay? Use the phrase persona, proper persona. Pro se really means is that you're acting as your own lawyer, which means you're bound by the same rules as lawyers. Okay? You don't want to be pro se. That's what I understand it to be. Okay? Cease and desist. This is number 3. So when you get my paperwork, these are the ones you should be using. I get it all the time. Rick, which one should I, even with my instructions, I have people get my paperwork, and I say, read the instructions, and most of them don't even know the instructions are in there. Oh, I didn't even know it was there. When you receive my paperwork, take the time, open up the folder, and open every app and read it. It's yours. I just sent it to you. It's all yours. Read it. And then you'll learn at the same time. And if it makes sense, use it. Okay? All right, so listen, we're at 37 minutes. All right? I apologize for not doing a video in a while. I just don't want to just throw nothing at you guys. I don't come on to make videos anymore. Back in the day when I first started doing this stuff, I used to make videos a lot. I was doing them in my car, rah, 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 motivating you. Now I'm just trying to give you guys cold, hard facts for you to walk into court, okay? And be the best version of you can be. Be the most knowledgeable you can be, okay? Knowledge, you heard the phrase, knowledge is power. It is very true. And again, all of the people who have had success with my paperwork studied their butts off, but also believed, almost to the point where they were like taunting the court. Now, I don't encourage you to taunt the court, but in other words, you're going to say to them, no, you can't do that, whatever they're trying to do. So like right now, I just proved to you, you need my consent. This is not my words. This is in the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, that you need my consent. It says it right there, and memorize it. Article 2, Section 201, subsection A, subsection 1, subsection 2. Okay, if you got to write it on a piece of paper, write it on your hand, whatever you got to do, that when you're in there, you could say it. Okay, say, this is not my words. This is what you're bound by. Okay? All right, guys, good luck. All right, and again, my email is rick, RICK0327, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.